Hello, this is Mandy Arwen, podcasting from Edmonds, Washington. I am a psychic intuitive, author, and spiritual teacher. Today I am talking to you about Oracle Cards and Angel Cards Part 2. Part 1 is already recorded and on YouTube. We are going to start with some new methods of clearing your decks of old, negative, or stuck energy. In Part 1, we already discussed knocking on the deck and blowing over the cards. Here are 3 new ways to clear your decks. Number 1, burn some white sage and run the cards through the smoke, asking God and the angels to clear the decks of old, stuck energy and negativity. I have my sage in a fireproof shell for burning. Do be careful. You can buy white sage at almost any metaphysical bookstore or on Amazon.com. The second way is to fan the cards out. Hold them out in front of you and use your imagination to picture a very large pink healing rose in front of you. Once you can see the rose, hold your cards up to the rose and ask God to clear the old energy off of the cards using the pink healing rose. Hold your cards there for maybe 20 seconds or until you feel it is done. The pink healing rose can also be used to heal relationships. I'll talk about that in another podcast. The third way is to picture your card deck, which is fanned out in front of you, as being totally immersed in Christ light. Christ light is golden white light from heaven, clearing your deck. Christ light is very powerful energy and only good can come of using it. I usually clear my decks by using the pink healing rose, Christed light, knocking on the deck, and blowing over them. I save the white sage for a brand new card deck, or if I have had an emotional session with the cards and need to clear negativity. In Oracle Cards and Angel Cards Part 1, I talked about 2 methods of shuffling. I talked about taking the back cards and moving them to the front of the deck, over and over again, and taking the middle of the deck and moving those cards to the front of the deck. I also mentioned shuffling them as if you were shuffling a playing deck of cards at a casino. A third way is to place your cards face down on the table in front of you, then mess them up and shuffle them all around with your hands, purposely allowing some of them to turn upside down. This shuffles them, but also makes some of the cards reverse themselves. This is intentional. Be careful. When I say upside down, I don't mean facing up. All the cards must remain facing down. Then gather the cards up into a neat pile again, and you are ready to use them. Now some of your cards will be upright, and some of them will be reversed, upside down. There are some theories about reversed cards. Some people assign the cards a whole new meaning if it is upside down. I am not willing to learn a whole new set of meanings on all of my decks. I use many decks during the course of a week or even a day. So for me, a reversed or upside down card always means pay close attention to this card. It has a special position in your spread. It carries more weight than the upright cards. It's totally your choice how you want to handle reversed cards. Also be aware of flying cards, cards that seemingly fly out of the deck onto the floor or table. They are a special message from your angels and should be taken very seriously. Never ignore a flying card. They are sometimes called a jumping card. I'd like to tell you about my favorite decks at the moment. I change my mind about this every once in a while when I find a new deck, but here are a few of my current favorites. You need to consider three main things when choosing a deck for yourself. Do you like the color scheme? Do you like the graphics on the cards? And do the messages resonate with you? The Enchanted Map Oracle deck by Colette Baron-Reid is my favorite current deck. Its colors are deep browns, tans, and golds, which I love. The messages are poignant and just right for me at this stage of development. Some of the cards in the deck are the Deep Freeze card, which means that everything has its own season. Put activity on hold while you rest. There is the Dragon's Lair card, which means tread carefully. The path you are on will challenge you to the core. And then there is the Bone Collector card, which means past conditioning. The wounds of the past need not define you. The colors, titles, meanings, and pictures all resonate with me. As soon as I flipped through the demo deck at the East-West Bookshop, I knew this was a deck I was going to use often. I totally resonate with the whole concept. Another favorite deck is the Divine Energy Oracle deck by Sonia Choquette. These cards are tans, pinks, and gold colors. I really do like the messages on these cards. There are cards like Wake Up Call, Have Faith, and Change Tracks. I find their messages very straightforward and easy to interpret even without looking in the guidebook. Then there is the Archangel Power Tarot deck by Radley Valentine. This deck does use the tarot structure of 78 cards and suits, but the cards are vibrant colors, talk about archangels, the messages are extremely gentle and encouraging. They each have a title and a meaning written on every card, so you don't necessarily need to go into the guidebook. Blue, orange, purple, green, and pink are the colors used, with very pretty pictures, and there is no death card, no devil card, and no tower card. Then there is the Angel Answers deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. This is one of the only decks I know that give a yes and no card. You can actually ask yes and no questions. Normally, you are not encouraged to ask yes or no questions, but to have divine guidance revealed to you for your highest good. This deck is only available used because it is out of print. Mine cost $55 on Amazon.com, which is more than 3 times the cost of my new decks. It also has answer cards like Ask Your Angels and timeline cards like Within a Few Weeks or Within the Next Year. I don't use this deck often because I am usually seeking a wider scope of information to be revealed to me, and my questions are more likely to be, what are my strengths and challenges right now? I also like to use my intuition more, so a yes or no format can confuse my intuition sometimes. You have to be so careful how you phrase your questions too, like asking, should I move to New York? There may be a good reason not to go. There may be good reasons to stay. What if the answer is no, but you still really want to move to New York? What if it's saying no because you will get a slow start there, but it would work out in the end? Phrasing questions with yes or no answers can become very tricky. So these are some of my favorite decks. All are available on Amazon.com. I love going into the East-West Bookshop to look at decks because they have demo decks you can flip through and actually feel and see each card and figure out which resonates with you before you purchase them. I have spent money buying cards I thought I would like online only to be disappointed and donate them shortly after they arrive. I never keep a deck I don't like or want to use. Now I'd like to get some spreads for you. I'm going to take you through first a 5-card spread and then an 8-card spread. First the 5-card spread. Go get some paper and a pen and your favorite deck of cards. Pause the podcast while you do this. This next 5-card spread is very useful when you want to see where you are, where you were, and where you are headed. It's a spread I learned from Sonia Choquette in the Divine Energy Oracle Card Deck Guidebook. Draw 5 squares across your paper. Spread them out. Label the left card in the first position with the words, "Right now." Label the second position card with the words, "Recent Past." Label the third position card with the words, "Near Future." Label the fourth position card with the word, "Overlooking," as in, what are you overlooking that needs special attention? Label the last position card on the far right with the words, "Long-term opportunity." You can see right away that this is going to be helpful. Now say a prayer that this reading is for your highest good. Shuffle the cards, then pull 1 card for each position. Do that now. Your first card tells you what's going on right now with you. What can you learn from this card? Your second card tells you where you have just come from. What can you learn from this card? Your third card tells you where you are headed next. Do you like where you are headed? Do you feel the need to pray about it? If so, pause the podcast and do so. The fourth card is about whatever you have been overlooking and need to pay more attention to. What are you learning from this card? Can you make some changes? The fifth card is your future opportunity over the long run. It is where you are headed generally and long term. Do you like this card? If not, stop the podcast and pray on it. Ask for feedback and for what you really want your future to be. Ask for clarity. After praying, you could choose a second card to see what has changed. So, that is an example of a 5-card spread. Let's do one more spread, an 8-card soul path spread. Collect your cards, grab your paper and pen, and you are going to draw a pyramid with your squares. Draw 7 squares in a pyramid shape with the 4th card being the pinnacle. Then draw an 8th square on the bottom middle. So you have a 7-card pyramid and a bottom middle card. This is called your soul path spread and will tell you what is and what action you can take. Over the first square, way on the left, write the words, "My gifts and strengths." Over square number 2, write the words, "Right now." Over square number 3, write the words, "My highest happiness." Over square number 4, write the words, "Obstacles to overcome." Over square number 5, write "Holy highest self." Over square 6, write angels. Over square 7, write my heart. And under the bottom middle square, number 8, write action step. As you can see, you are going to receive a lot of information from this spread. Say your prayer for the highest good and shuffle. Now pull your first card to the far left. What message did you receive about your current gifts and strengths? Pull your second card. Where are you right now? Pull your third card. What gives you your highest happiness? Pull your fourth card. What obstacle or challenge must be overcome? Pull your fifth card. What message did you receive from your holy highest self today? Pull your sixth card. What message did you receive from your guardian angels today? Pull your seventh card. What message did you receive from your heart? Now pull your final card. What is the recommended action for you to take in order to proceed? Soak it all in. As you see, with regard to this 5 and 8 card readings, you don't necessarily have to ask a specific question. You can just ask God and the angels for your highest good. You could start your reading asking, what do I need to know right now for my highest good? Now, I am going to do a soul path reading for myself. I'm using the Archangel Power Tarot deck by Radley Valentine. I'm shuffling Dear God, dear angels, what do I need to know right now for my highest good? Thank you. Amen. Okay, for my gifts and strengths card, I pulled the Queen of Michael. The message is, I know exactly what to do from the benefit of experience. This is about my teaching experience. I spent 16 years as a school teacher, so I am familiar with creating creative lesson plans for my classes and podcasts. For my Right Now card, I pulled the 6 of Michael card. There is a light at the end of the tunnel and a sigh of relief. I think this refers to the fact that my ex-husband and dear friend passed away just over a month ago, and I've been handling all of his financial affairs. It's been a rough road. I think this card is telling me that I'm making good progress and I can breathe a sigh of relief that things are working out. For my highest happiness card, I drew the 2 of Ariel. Working multiple projects at the same time, making work fun. Well, my work is fun. I've gotten to the point where my work and my play are one and the same. For my obstacle card, I drew the 9 of Michael and the Epiphany card. 2 cards. Worry, focus on desired outcome, and joy through spiritual growth. There's been so much to worry about recently with my ex-husband's financial affairs. I need to remember to focus on the desired outcome, not on what's really happening. The message from my holy highest self is the 4 of Michael card, which says, need more sleep. Well, I get up in the middle of the night to do all of my spiritual work and podcasts because the house is calm and still. I guess I have to find the right balance, I suppose. The message from my angels is the Queen of Raphael, to follow my heart. Well, my son recommended doing 1 podcast a week, but my heart tells me to do several podcasts now so I can advertise them and go on to working on my spiritual class curriculums again. I will follow my heart. The message from my heart is the page of Raphael, a new emotional situation. I think that is referring to my ex-husband's passing, so we are all experiencing a new situation with new emotions to deal with. Maybe even something new is going to emerge. The recommended action is the Knight of Ariel card, which says so much to accomplish, making very detailed plans, and being watched over by someone kind. Between the podcasts and the class curriculums and my ex-husband's affairs, I have so much on my plate right now. I think they are suggesting a detailed plan so I don't flail. And I think my ex-husband is watching over me. The guidebook to the Archangel Power Tarot deck has even more details for each card, but I feel satisfied with the meanings right on the cards for now. Do you see how this Archangel Tarot deck is more like an angel deck than a tarot deck? I really like it. The messages are so gentle and supportive. Well, this brings our podcast to a closing. If you are interested in scheduling a private psychic reading with me, write to me at my email address, which is spiritualwellbeing@aol.com. That's spiritualwellbeing@aol.com. Please check out my book, Golden Nuggets, Your Guide to Practical Spirituality, on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, BalboaPress.com, or in the East West Bookshop in Seattle. Please go check out my website at www.spiritualwellbeing.net. That's www.spiritualwellbeing.net. This is Mandy Arwen, signing off from Edmonds, Washington. Have a great and blessed day, and thanks for listening. Blessings to all.